I think the difference between a report and a story is sort of the moral of the story, or
Yeah.
what's the point to the story? What are we supposed to learn from this recounting of events? And being able to recount the events as they occurred is very important. Getting the right stuff in and leaving out stuff that's irrelevant, sort of thing. That's all part of the kind of training you have, and also the kind I have.
Do you find that then journalism is somewhere between legal writing and writing a book?
Good questions all along here. Um, yes. Um, you know, when I write for Forbes, I've been writing for Forbes for 10 years. And here's how I got into it, which kind of answers your question. In law, lawyers like to write these briefs, and at the bottom they put footnote 1 and then the case number and the date it was decided and all this stuff. That drives me nuts. I can't stand that kind of writing. So I thought, if I'm going to get anywhere with writing, illegal writing, it's going to have to be writing to general audiences, where I don't have to do footnote. It's not that I'm averse to giving authority for what I'm saying, but I just, it drives me crazy to the idea of writing a whole brief with all these little notes, footnotes at the end. I mean, if I'm going to court, I have to do that. But if I'm just writing an article, what I want to do is I want to convey my thinking to whoever's reading it, without the impairment of them having to go, oh, well, where did this come from? Oh, and what is this extra comment you have here at the end of footnote 7? I like for the thinking to go, like, to be clear and understandable, not at a high level. It doesn't have to be like, grad school English, but at a level that's understandable for just a common person reading, an intelligent person reading. And I wanted to have everything there in front of them, so they don't have to look around to find what they're looking for. It's right there in front. And so that's how I write for Forbes. Is I just write everything I hope is understandable to a common, ordinary, intelligent human being reading the thing, which is sort of a halfway away from a legal brief, and not quite creative writing, where you're throwing in the Forbes instance, I can't express my own. I'm not supposed to be advocating. I'm not supposed. It's not propaganda. It's factual based writing. So I have to stay away from sort of what's the word? Biased writing, or expressing my own point of view in terms of what I'm trying to say. And then in books, I'm even sort of more, like, I do have citations in my books. In my most recent book that I wrote, this Solomia, it's this book here. It's about an opera star. In that book, I decided I'm going to have footnotes, but I put them at the bottom of the page, so the person doesn't have to flip around trying to figure out, what's this all about? Where did it come from?